Okay. So panel, you know what time it is. It's time to get that final word. All right. So, Josh, what's your final word?
Like I said at the beginning, with children smoking marijuana, you have got to hold the line if that's what you taught them growing up. You cannot let them get older and switch up. You just can't. That comes to alcohol, marijuana, cocaine, crack is whack, anything. If you have got to hold that line as an adult coming up, so they understand clearly that this was the principles, this is how you were raised, we're not doing that. Now, if they get grown and they decide to smoke, I'm with AJ and the rest of y'all. They grown, go ahead. But understand, it could be some consequences from it. Very possible, very possible. And I would let that be known. I would let that be known. I think that we don't know everything about weed that we think we know. I've been telling people that for a long time. I believe that something is in weed. I don't know what that is. I'm not a scientist. I don't know everything, but I believe something is in it. I believe it's something in this new stuff. And honestly, I believe the government's putting something in there and it's killing a lot of us off. Because a lot of us are just dying for no reason. There's no reason, just dying. Die. And they're calling it something else. We've lost five legendary rappers in 6 months.
Okay.
I just don't, and the commonality of all of them that died, Yule was what? They all did what? Weed and what else? What was that other thing they did? Shock G, they said he found in his system, but we already knew that. That one drug.
Oh, you're talking about formaldehyde.
Yeah. And they up there, the Biz Marquee, all of them. So I believe it's something in it.
But wait a minute, hold on. I won't go that far because you know when you look at Biz Marquee, a lot of these cats, man, when I see type 2 diabetes, and they say that he had type 2 diabetes, he had it a long time. Man, these cats don't be living right. They don't be eating right. They still want to consume alcohol. Alcohol turns into sugar. Carbohydrates turn into sugar. You know, they're not eating right. That's something that really needs to be addressed. I'm funny that you said that. I might be something for a podcast, John. People in African Americans with type 2 diabetes, and how a lot of people don't take that serious until it's too late. When limbs is starting to get chopped off, organs is starting to fail. You know, they just play it off. MC Breed, that's how he died.
Well, you might as well continue. You know, it's your time, my brother.
Well, he added that flow pretty good, right into him. Yeah.
My final word on this is I kind of agree with AJ. Once they get grown, I would be a little bit more tolerant. Once you establish, because then you like AJ said, you've shown that you understand that out here in this world, there's responsibilities, there's consequences for your actions, and there's things that you need to do to be a functioning adult. So if my child is showing me that, yeah, I don't have a problem with having that drink when she turned 21. I don't have an issue with that because she's shown me that she has a certain level of maturity to be able to deal with these situations versus just, you know, hey, we 15, let's get them drinks in.
Okay. All right.
Absolutely.
AJ.
I'm gonna share Yule's final word. We on the same page. I couldn't have said it better. You know what I mean? You grow up, they already know what the boundaries are. And once you establish that relationship, a glass of wine is not gonna destroy the boundaries. And if you 30 and you doing brain surgery on somebody or bone surgery on somebody, and you be like, "Ma, let's you want to hit this weed?" I might try it. I ain't gonna lie. You know, 30, and you taking care of your business, and you wanna have a moment with your mama. I think I'd be for that.
Okay. All right. Hey, Brittany, I know you can hear us. You dropping in on the final word?
Yeah, for sure. I don't think, as far as weed, I think it's a problem having parents smoke with their children and also doing it at a young age because they're still developing and everything too, and we don't know like what is being put in all this new stuff. Because talking to some of my older relatives, they're like, we don't supposed to smell like this. Like some of this stuff, it smell like skunk. Like it's just nasty. So it's something that they're putting in it, like whether they're peeing on it to make it grow and all this other type of new stuff.
What?
So
She
you
said peeing
never
on it.
know. You never know what these people are doing to their weed unless they're growing it themselves. Like the people that has like their own little dispensaries. Like if they're growing their trees at home. Like yeah, because you know where it's coming from. So like all these other type of dispensaries are mass producing it because everybody's got recreational weed or medical passes. So they have to get those trees up and growing because it takes so long for them they crops to come. So, you know, doing that, no, not at a young age. Like once you fully develop, then sure. Like, but of course, kids are gonna do it with their friends, their peers, their relatives, whoever. But as far as drinking alcohol, people overseas, you know, in Africa, they're 18 years old drinking. In Europe, people have at 13, like they're drinking wine with their parents. So
Mhm.
I would rather them do it at home than to actually be in the streets because you never know if somebody's lacing their stuff. You never know if someone's actually giving them you know, like shoot, people could be putting whatever in your drink. So just having like one drink at home with family, just like, you know, all that type of stuff. I don't think it's an issue with it, but you know, just be safe. That's all I care about.
All right. And I'll take the last row, the last row. So my final word. I'm just gonna go ahead and double down. I'm not gonna smoke weed with my child. And before y'all try to crack a joke at me, I ain't smoking seasonings either. Okay, I got to it before y'all did. All right,
No hot
Probably
pepper,
slow if you
no
want
hot
to, I'll get
pepper,
down.
no
All
hot pepper.
But I'm gonna be honest. Do I look forward to sharing that first drink with my son? Yes, I do. Do I look forward to sharing the blunt with my son? No, I don't. If my son does choose to live his life by smoking weed and his life is not together, I did all I could to raise him up to a point, and that's the decision that he makes. I'm not going to share in that habit. That'll be a habit that he cultivates on his own from that point on past 21 or 18. Anything under that, you know, I'm just gonna be honest, that's an ass whooping. Let's just be honest. Okay. Like we throwing hands in the living room. 16, 17, we throwing hands in the living room. We just gonna do it. But I'm not smoking smoking weed with my kid. I don't think there's any appropriate age where you can smoke weed with your kid. There's not appropriate time to I don't think there's a real appropriate time to actually share a drink with your child. You could do it at 21, but who says that's the right time too? You know, we just going by what was passed down, what was said to us as it was coming down from the older generations. Okay, you know, are by us doing that, are we cultivating habits in our kids that we cannot change because we are introducing them to a world that we don't even really want them to be part of? You know, look at who is it? I think it's Lil Boozy that lets his kids watch porno because he don't want them to be gay. You know, he's putting them into an environment, into a habit that he believes is going to save them from some kind of what is perceived as a mental state of being gay. You know, he think he's doing something by being there, and it's a controlled environment. Nothing that we do or create is a controlled environment, because once they leave that controlled environment, it's no longer controlled. So if you start smoking weed with your kids, at some point in time, you're going to lose control. You can't say, well, you only can just smoke it with me in the room. When I'm in the room, we can smoke. But if I'm not in the room, we can't smoke. Once they leave and they go with their friends, they're going to feel like, oh, well, I can go and smoke with my friends as long as my parents don't know. I can go and drink with my friends as long as my parents don't know, because now it has left a controlled environment. See, that's what the whole conversation was really about. Can you do these activities with your kids and make it a controlled environment? And the truth is it's not a controlled environment, because it will get past you.
Right.
It will begin to start somewhere else. You know, if your kids see you drinking and driving, or they know you to drink and drive, and they feel like, you know, you was able to do it. Hey, if Jay can do it, or Dad can do it, I can do it too. But they don't understand all the precautions that go into it with trying to make it home safely, or all the dangers that go into it with trying to make it home safely, or all the setbacks that get into it with trying to make it home safely. There are a lot of people that drink and drive, get their license suspended or revoked, go get their license suspended, then go back and do it again and think they won't get caught again.
Very true.
There is no controlled environment by doing these activities with your kids. And I'll be the one to tell you, I used to party with my dad. We used to go to the club. We used to get drunk together. We used to do that stuff. And it was the funnest times of it was the best times that I've had with my dad. The best times that I had with him. But also, my dad wasn't in my life as well. So a lot of it becomes situational. He shared a drink with me. You know, he shared the club life with me. He showed me a lot of things in those times that I hold to dear with memory. I hold it. I ain't gonna tell you about some of the stuff that we did because it was some wild nights. Me and my dad was wild. But those are the nights that I would love to relive. Is hanging with my dad, having a drink at the bar, telling jokes, talking to women, and having a good time. Those are the nights that I love. But was it controlled? No, because I would always lose it. I would do suicides. I would do beer. I would do liquor. Then I go back and forth. I did a lot of that stuff around my dad, you know, having a good time. But it was never controlled because then I would go with my friends and do the same thing. So it's never a controlled environment. You know, if we want our kids to live pure lives, we must maintain that presence of purity in front of them. And if they choose to go down that route, then we let them go down that route, but they have to understand the consequences that befall them if they go down that route, when they go down that route.
Yeah.
No matter what we do, only thing we can do is groom them to make the right decisions, but even in a right decision, turns out to be a bad consequence.
Very true.
And that's my final word. Thank you for watching Skip the Formalities. We do this every Thursday at 6 o'clock. Make sure you tune in. You got an opinion, you got a thought, you go ahead and leave it in the comments. You got something to say to any one of these people on the panel, please go ahead and say it. Then let me tell you who we got on the panel again. We got Miss AJ with the wavy hair, feeling good, looking nice. We got Brittany over here. She ain't there, but she's there. You got Josh, got the muscles out. You know, he ready to do it big sometimes. And we got Mr. KC over here. You got to Skip the Formalities shirt on.
Now available at your nearest shopping store. Now
No, it's
available
not.
at your
So
nearest shopping store.
don't believe that. Don't believe it.
All
He
right.
about to, look, he about to fuck us all up with false advertisement. Y'all stay chill. We'll see you next week.